Cinematography is, I guess, in essence, it's just capturing the visual elements of a film to tell the story of the film, basically. So you're serving the story of the film and you're capturing everything that's visual within that film.
As a cinematographer, in the most basic sense, your goal is to visualize and then realize a director's vision for a film. You are taking the images on a storyboard and bringing them to life through the lens of your camera. But this is not so simple as merely positioning your camera in the right spot and pressing record. The shooting style of a cinematographer has just as much creative influence on the final film as a director's vision, an actor's performance, or an editor's cut. To effectively bring a director's vision to life, communication and understanding is key.
It requires a really good understanding of the story that the director wants to tell, and also the emotional arc of the story, but also of the individual characters within the film. So it's a really important thing to, I guess, cinematography is a great way to express the emotional sort of essence of a film. The visuals are really important to do that. So it's really important to understand what the emotional impact you have in the film. So I think that's a really key part of what the job of a cinematographer is.
Once you have that understanding, you then have to use the tools of cinematography to paint the picture the director has described to you. Blaine Brown describes the tools of cinematography as such. What we're talking about here is not the physical tools of filmmaking, the camera, dolly, the lights, cranes, and camera mounts. We're talking about the conceptual tools of the trade. What are the conceptual tools of visual storytelling that we employ in all forms of visual storytelling? There are many, but we can roughly classify them into some general categories. The frame, light and color, the lens, movement, and point of view. Every choice the cinematographer makes with these tools influences the storytelling, style, and execution of a production. How should you frame a shot? Say a character is about to make a confession to another, something with huge emotional weight behind it that will change the course of the entire story. Do you close in on the actor's face, putting the focus on their emotional expression, or would a medium shot be more appropriate? Perhaps this character has a tendency to fiddle with the rings on their fingers when they're nervous, and it's important to capture that behavior. Or do you make yet another different choice and choose to focus only on the hands?
What I've noticed a lot of times is it's not always clear to student cinematographers that lighting is part of their job. They sometimes think, oh, that's something someone else does. I just operate the camera.
A villain stands at the end of a dimly lit hallway and activates their energy weapon. What invokes more fear in the audience? Should we see the outline of the figure, creating an air of suspense as to who it might be, and then reveal their identity with the activation of the weapon? Or is the sudden appearance of the villain from the darkness more terrifying? Every choice such as these that you make as a cinematographer help to define the feel of a movie. Every step of the way through shooting a production, you must be communicating with the director, the production designer, the lighting team, and the grips to ensure stylistic and tonal consistency across the film. One poorly lit, framed, or focused shot can be all it takes to ruin a film. If a producer provides the paints, and the director decides what to use as a subject, the cinematographer is the one who puts the brush to the canvas. Every blend, every different brush size, every stroke is a choice made that will define how the finished painting looks.